Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. French Open 2025. Coco Gauff forgets racket, but still cruises to victory in first round. Coco Gauff's 2025 French Open got off to a rocky start. Gauff ran into trouble before her first match even began when she forgot to bring her racket out to the court. As Gauff was getting ready to take on Olivia Gadecki in the first round, she noticed something important was missing from her equipment bag. The moment was captured on video, which showed Gauff digging through her bag and then shrugging her shoulders twice once she realized there was no racket in it. Gauff and Gadecki even shared a smile while Gauff was explaining the situation to her opponent. The rackets were eventually delivered to Gauff on the court. While it was an inauspicious start for Gauff, she was able to put it behind her quickly. Once the match started, Gauff was able to lock in, breezing past Gadecki 6-2, 6-2 to advance to the second round of the event. It was an expected win for Gauff, who enters the 2025 French Open as the No. 2 ranked women's player. Only Aryna Sabalenka is ranked higher on the women's side. Given that seeding, the two can only meet in the final at the 2025 French Open. The win pushes Gauff to the second round, where she'll take on Teresa Valentova. Coco Gauff teased France's Tiafoe over racket mishap. While the racket mishap didn't impact Gauff, she's likely going to hear about it from at least one other U.S. tennis star. France's Tiafoe had the exact same thing happen to him in March, and Gauff teased him about the incident. While Gauff blamed Tiafoe's coach David Witt for packing Tiafoe's bag poorly, Gauff also gave Tiafoe a hard time, saying, "Francis is always late to everything, and does forget a lot of things, and I have seen and heard he showed up to the airport without stuff and things like that." As Gauff said in that interview, coaches usually pack the equipment bags ahead of a match. So while it probably wasn't Gauff's fault she didn't have her rackets Tuesday, she won't get off completely scot-free. When Tiafoe forgot his racket, Gauff made an unfortunate comment that's going to come back to haunt her after Tuesday's mishap, per Sports Illustrated. Whoops. Turns out Gauff may need some extra practice recalibrating her ability to judge the weight of her equipment bag. That's really the only thing Gauff needs to work on following a dominant performance Tuesday. Well, that and an apology to Tiafoe, who comes out of this whole thing looking vindicated after the same exact thing happened to Gauff. Paris, May 26, 2025. The clay courts of Roland Garros have seen their fair share of drama, brilliance, and bizarre occurrences. But today, under a sun-drenched Parisian sky and the rustle of spring leaves in Court Suzanne Lenglen, a new tale was etched into French Open folklore. Coco Gauff forgot her racket. Yes, you read that right. The 21-year-old American superstar world No. 3 and reigning U.S. Open champion strode confidently onto the court in her first-round match against Austria's Franziska Wallner, only to realize at the coin toss that something was missing. "Where's my—" "Oh," she muttered, eyes widening, hands patting down her tennis bag with increasing urgency. Her expression hovered between horror and disbelief. Her racket, her actual racket, was still in her locker. For a moment, the stadium fell silent. Chair umpire Margot Delatour leaned forward with a puzzled smile. Franziska tried not to chuckle. And the crowd? They weren't sure if it was part of some psychological tactic or a rogue performance art installation sponsored by Nike. But Gauff being Gauff, she handled it the only way she knew how. With charm, grace, and quick improvisation. "I was like, wow, I really came out here to play air tennis," she joked in the post-match interview, laughing. "I guess I was too focused on my playlist." Indeed, sources close to her team confirmed she had been completely lost in her warm-up routine, vibing to a new Afrobeat mix from Burna Boy and Era Star. "You know how sometimes you're just in the zone. Apparently, I was in the wrong zone," she said, grinning. What followed next was perhaps even more unbelievable. Rather than calling for a delay or sending a bulkhead sprinting through the tunnels of Roland Garros, Coco casually borrowed a racket from one of her hitting partners sitting in the player's box. A bright orange Yonex strung a few pounds tighter than her own. "I figured I've played in worse situations. In juniors, in the rain. Once even with a borrowed racket in Doha when my bag didn't arrive on time," she said. This wasn't that different. And then, she proceeded to play and win, like nothing had happened. A performance to remember. From the first point, Gauff played with uncanny poise. There was a slightly awkward adjustment in the first couple of games, especially with her serve. But once she found her groove, It was as if she'd always been wielding the orange imposter. Wallner, a tricky left-hander with a powerful backhand slice, tried to take advantage of the situation. She rushed the net, varied her pace, and mixed in drop shots to force Coco off rhythm. But Gauff's athleticism and mental fortitude shone through. She took the first set 6-3, breaking serve twice with lightning-quick returns and aggressive baseline play. The second set was even smoother, 6-2, capped with an ace down the tee using the borrowed racket. The crowd erupted. Even Wallner clapped at the net. I had to ask her afterward, "Is that your magic racket or something?" Wallner said with a laugh. She played like she'd been using it for years. Social media goes wild. As you'd expect, the moment Coco Gauff walked onto the court without a racket, the internet lit up like the Eiffel Tower on Bastille Day. At Tennis Stall Paris, Coco Gauff just forgot her racket. Iconic. We are witnessing comedy and excellence in one woman. At Serenafan_forever. Coco doing this and still winning in straights? That's Serena Venus Mother energy. At Espen, Coco Gauff forgot her racket, borrowed one from a friend and won. This is the most Gen Z tennis moment ever. Even Serena Williams chimed in on Instagram stories with a laughing emoji and the caption, "Been there, sis." A glimpse at a champion's mindset. Behind the humor and social media frenzy is a deeper testament to Coco Gauff's maturity as an athlete. At just 21, she's already navigated the pressures of being a teenage phenom, weathered slumps, and risen to the top of the game with consistency and heart. Her coach, Per Ryba, said it best. Coco's ability to adapt, stay calm, and stay focused, even in a ridiculous situation, is what makes her different. Most players would have panicked. She turned it into a story. And a story it certainly is. In many ways, it mirrors Coco's broader journey, full of unexpected turns, sudden challenges, and an unwavering determination to make the best of what's handed to her. Even if it's not her own racket. The racket saga continues. Naturally, the bright orange Yonex has now taken on a life of its own. After the match, a journalist jokingly asked if she'd switch to it permanently. "I don't know. I might just keep it around as my good luck charm," she said. "But my actual rackets are definitely coming with me next time." Her team confirmed that her usual set of 6 custom-strung Betabolat Pure Arrows will be securely by her side for her second-round match. But not before the orange Yonex made a guest appearance on her Instagram with the caption, "MVP of the day." Nike has already hinted at a possible limited edition. Forgot my racket tee, and fans in the Roland Garros gift shop have been asking for bright orange replicas. What's next for Gauff? With her first-round match behind her, racket mishap and all, Gauff now looks ahead to a potentially tough draw, including a projected quarterfinal clash with world no. 1 Iga Swiatek, her longtime rival and Roland Garros dominator. But if today showed anything, it's that Coco Gauff is ready for whatever the tournament throws her way, including, apparently, herself. As she signed autographs and posed for photos with fans, some of whom were waving foam rackets, she seemed relaxed, playful, and ready. "You got to laugh at yourself sometimes," she said. "Tennis is serious, but it's also life, and life's too short to not enjoy the chaos." EPIOGUE. A note on the unseen moments. In the bustling locker room after the match, as Coco finally reunited with her actual racket bag, she gave it a mock scolding. "You've had one job," she said, wagging her finger at the zipper. It was a small moment, unseen by the cameras, but captured by one of the junior players passing by. She was just talking to her racket bag, like it was her roommate who forgot to do the dishes, said 17-year-old French wildcard Leah Dumas, still grinning. And maybe that's the magic of Coco Gauff, a champion with the game of a veteran, the soul of a poet, and the spontaneity of someone who can turn even a forgotten racket into a chapter of tennis history.